Christmas comes early for Bret Hart. Goldberg's retired. Grab your coffee. It's brunch time. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good whatever it may be when you're tuned in here on Love Wrestling CA's Brunch Gimmick. Hit the like button, hit the retweet, wherever you're watching, let us know, and thank you for doing so. Every time, guys, I think that we need to make that intro shorter and like cut down. I regret my thought because it's such a goddamn bop. I like our theme song. I really do. It's good to see you, Boris. It's been so long since I've seen the two of you guys. How are you doing? It's nice to see you.
No, I have a bone to pick with you, Spencer. You're that guy who's like, you're having a party? I promise I'll be there. I'll be at your party. I'm going to come to your party. And then you don't come to the party.
Okay. Room looked full. It's not like I wasn't there. I was there in spirit. I sent my regards.
I decorated. You could see some of the streamers fell and the balloons fell because things got a little bit out of hand last night at the first annual Wrestlicious open house.
I think
party.
between the three episodes watched, there was maybe 86 seconds of wrestling. I'm like having a hard time with it in a weird way. Like I know this might sound silly, but like I almost feel bad because it was way more exploitative and creepy and wrong than I thought it was going to be. But I don't want to completely. And I don't want to completely bury it, though, because we have a friend who worked there that I was not aware of until we were on the air yesterday. There were a few familiar faces that have popped up and will pop up. But it's good to see you, Lawrence.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. I was just going to see how Lawrence was doing, too. It's been a while since I've seen you as well.
I'm doing all right. The time change kicking my ass a little bit this morning.
How's it kicking your ass? You get an extra hour.
I don't know. It just threw me off. I think because I already wake up early, so I ended up being up at like 3:30, 4 a.m. instead of 5 a.m. I usually just meant. Yeah, because I'm up early for work every day anyway, so I automatically wake up at a certain time.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm in desperate need of a nap.
Well, I'm feeling great, to be honest with you. I'm sorry to say it. If you're feeling great, let us know. We're going to start talking some Crown Jewel. I do want to talk about Goldberg's retirement because Goldberg's retirement. A lot's going on, but I do want to start with Crown Jewel because the three of us at Points were all watching together yesterday. And we sort of ended the stream because it was about 3.5 hours that we were all there. A much longer pay-per-view than I think we're used to even at this point from WWE. So, Lawrence, I'll ask you first, just in case you fall asleep on us. I'll ask you while you're awake. What did you think of Crown Jewel yesterday? Anything you liked, disliked, want to talk about, want to chat about?
Yeah, and the joke's on you. I fell asleep 20 minutes ago. I'm just a high function. I'm just sleepwalking right now through wrestling commentary.
Fair enough. You wouldn't be the first to do it.
But yes, I enjoyed the show. I felt it was a solid B+ show for WWE. I think my standout match, I really enjoyed the triple threat. Andrade
title match.
Yeah, Andrade hitting a no-look moonsault. Looking at one guy and doing moonsaulting back to the outside was a crazy spot. The women's tag team title match, I think 8-woman tag team title match.
Yep.
Yeah. Was out great. Everyone had a chance to show out in that. And it is also it is still very meaningful that they're able to get those matches off, get more and more women's matches on the card.
Yeah.
And they also you can tell it still means a lot to the women's roster to be able to do it there. And they everyone showed out. Metaphor did great. Everyone had their nice spot in there, and it was a really fun match. Yeah, and I felt the Ripers it's Crown Jewel is weird because it's its own vacuum. It's almost its own a world with its own weird title matches that aren't canonical to the rest of WWE.
What?
Yeah. Which I'm sure
what?
It's its own thing.
Crown Jewel Championship isn't canonical? Get out, Lawrence.
I'm still waiting on the Greatest Royal Rumble Championship to be defended.
The Undertaker isn't whatever trophy, Kuwait trophy winner.
The Kuwaiti Cup, wasn't it? Or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. What do you mean that doesn't matter? It was the first thing he brought up in his Hall of Fame speech.
But that was a fun card. It was probably one of the better. It still has a weird jinx about it, where there's still little botches and weird little
location of the paper.
Yeah, it's just there's still little stuff that always seemed to happen there. But this was one of their cleaner, most fun. They didn't have any blatant nostalgia acts, which I really like. They just let the talent in their own roster, I think for the first time from beginning to end, speak for itself. And the crowd was hot as hell. You can't complain. That does mean a lot to a lot of those people who don't there get up until that point get a lot of live wrestling. So you can tell especially the kids in the crowd, everyone there was having a great time. It was a fun crowd throughout the whole show.
Yeah, don't disagree at all. I want to touch on the women's tag title match here too, as well. Obviously, we'll chat some Sami Zayn, but Boris, your initial thoughts, or I guess your 24 hours later thoughts. Exactly 24 hours.
Yeah.
Lawrence, you made a really good point, actually. Yeah, that this was a very much in storyline Saudi show for them, because usually they throw in a Goldberg and an Undertaker and a bald Shawn Michaels and whatever other nonsense. Whenever I watch the pay-per-views, I always enjoy them, and it makes me want to kind of start watching the product regularly again. I enjoyed the Owens brawl. I thought all the matches were really fun. The crowd was hot, and I enjoyed it. It makes me want to be maybe I should check Raw out on Monday.
I don't disagree. They will be pre-taping, I believe, from Saudi Arabia. So all of those spoilers are going to be coming out. They did announce that there's going to be a number one contenders match tomorrow, I guess tomorrow afternoon, between Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. I think Dominic Mysterio and Gunther is going to be fantastic to see. I'm real excited on that end. To be honest, I'm still kind of surprised that Gunther lost. I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes like take Occam's razor to the thing, and the cleanest route is the easiest. Like Cody Rhodes, big babyface win to put over this silly little championship ring that they're going to end up taking, and the belt's going to stay in Saudi Arabia at their WWE World Championship. I'll think of something cleaner, I promise. But it makes sense. I'm still surprised that like Gunther didn't win just based on the fact that he's been presented as the most dominant wrestler. Like Cody's the face of the company right now, if not obviously Roman Reigns excluded, but we'll talk about that. Did want to touch on the women's tag team match because like you said, not only super like meaningful, obviously to them in a lot of ways, Lawrence, and evidently meaningful, but like I hate the phrase surprisingly good. But this very much felt like the throw-in or the throwaway match. There wasn't like any build to it on TV. It was sort of announced as the final match at the last minute. Women came out and absolutely delivered, man. Absolutely delivered. I am psyched with Metaphor. To be honest, I really wasn't a huge fan of the gimmick in NXT. But they've come up and absolutely killed it in their, I guess, month and a bit even.
Yeah.
Been that long. Hey? So they've absolutely killed it. Obviously, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, I've always thought were fantastic. That spot where Piper hit the Vader bomb on Chelsea and sat there and celebrated for a quick second was outstanding. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I picked Chelsea and Piper to win it off the bat. That was more with the heart than the head. But I don't think they're losing anything up until the Royal Rumble. Maybe. If they're going to do something together. But like, I don't know. I think this might just carry on. It's hard to bet against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair at this point. Anyways, great match on that end of things. And I really, really loved, again, just when you start to think like Bloodline stuff slowing down, I loved what they did with Sami Zayn. I really, really loved it. You know, proving what side he's on, but still the mix up there at the end. It's one of those things still that like, all you need to do is watch back the footage and everything's going to be fixed, you know?
Yeah, but wrestling's going to wrestle, you know?
That's exactly. But anyways.
And Roman laying down quasi-clean, I think. Like, I'm not super familiar with the storyline because I don't watch weekly, but I assume that Roman laying down quasi-clean is a pretty big deal as well.
Yeah. Roman doesn't look, I wouldn't even call that quasi-clean. Like that was he took what 3 Samoan spikes or a couple of Samoan spikes, but like 1, 2, 3.
Are they like legitimizing Solo as like a main event guy? Because again, I don't watch regularly. Like this is like he's for real.
Very, very much trying to. I'm the talent's there. They've got him in the right spot to get him over. That's going to do a lot, I think. Even pinning Roman Reigns does still mean a lot. Yeah, obviously, but like. I don't know. I hate this phrase because it sounds like you're being insulting to one guy, but like anybody who did think that Fatu was going to come in and like somewhat steal the spotlight or somewhat outshine Solo Sikoa, they haven't been wrong so far. And that's nothing against Solo, but like Fatu's a whole nother animal, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I don't really know why it isn't clicking for me quite yet. But yeah, they're certainly putting that effort in.
I think Solo, especially the last few weeks and like month, has gotten so much better because he's been able, like he's been able to transition out of his enforcer character being in charge and just being himself. Like he's been able to show more of his personality recently because he's a like legitimately very funny person. Yeah, and like. Been able to have more fun with the character, and he's growing into the character of being the like de facto tribal chief, and like that's taken time. Like he's gotten better at the position he is because like at first he was still sort of Solo Sikoa, the silent thing, and he's gotten a lot better at it, and his character's gotten more fun over the last few weeks. Like I'm happy he's been able to show more of a personality, but like again, it's the problem is in his family there are so many talented people. Yeah, like. Jey Uso getting as massively over as he is, like it was like to his credit, this was Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman's plan from the jump since 2 WrestleManias ago was like, this is their idea was to separate the Usos and make them each individual stars, and so people can recognize both of them and work like gangbusters. Like, I don't think even they expected to work this well.
No.
And you've got like the problem with Solo already getting the spotlight, and he's got his enforcer right there waiting for him, that like already sort of outshining him a little bit because everyone wants to see him go full thing. Like, it's a problem of like, even in his own family, there's so much talent there and so much charisma. You've always got to step your game up.
Yeah, but like that's just wrestling as a whole.
Yeah.
Like it's put up or shut up. And not to say that he hasn't, don't get me wrong. And JPJ, lots of great points. A lot of the same that you'd made as well there too, Lawrence. But like, I don't know. It's you're not wrong, but it's again one of those things for me. Fatu's even gotten endlessly better in the 6 months, 7 months, right? So if they were always here, in my opinion so far, then they've both leveled up to here. Which is a good problem. They're all excellent. But yeah, I think that there's still work to do, but they're putting that work in and they're doing a great job. And JPJ, you and I have both had that same complaint, losing 34 straight matches before stepping into the role of tribal chief. It didn't really work. Now, again, when you get a bit of a Roman Reigns bump there, that still does mean something huge.
Touchdown Raiders. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm hoping you're all enjoying your foosball today. I am not a football fan. I was Christmas decorating earlier, and I am getting like the backyard and all of that sort of stuff.
Do you know the Pluggos have like 10 Christmas trees?
Yep. That's been a famous thing.
Not only do we know it,
information?
It's been a source of discussion for the last few years.
All right, well then I will shut up about it. It does seem a little excessive though, does it not?
Yeah.
You're telling me, Forrest.
It's bordering on hoarder territory.
You're telling me.
Like, legally his house has to be described as a forest.
Yeah, it has to be
declassified as an arboretum.
Ooh, that's a book learning word.
That's one of those $10 words. Somebody threw a super chat for that one if you feel like it. But yeah, I don't disagree on anything you guys are saying. Solo certainly has stepped her up. I loved what they did, like I said, with Sami Zayn. I don't know, and I'm very interested to see how they explain like his conversation earlier with Solo or something like that. But you know, it could be as just easy as saying, well, Solo tried to make me a sales pitch. I was willing to listen because of everything that Roman Reigns has done. And, you know, I saw what he was doing at the end of the show or something like that. But obviously it closed out the last Raw before this. So you sort of do have to explain that as being the cliffhanger, right? But
I would like to add to my gimmick being the official fact checker of Love Wrestling. Arboretum, a botanical garden devoted to trees.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would have assumed something similar, but that sounded a lot fancier than
I know. That's where I come in.
I appreciate it. Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, to be honest, pretty well exactly as expected in a lot of ways. I'm surprised that even after Nia and them were down, though, like at some point it does jump the shark with a Money in the Bank. Now, obviously, all of that can be corrected with a great cash in. I think Damian Priest, honestly, is a perfect example of that. But at some point, you know, if you're going to come in and, like you say, on the SmackDown prior to Crown Jewel, Tiffany Stratton says she's going to cash in. At some point, you have to deliver on that. So I'm curious to see what the reasoning was for not doing that, especially when like she came back, she walked down the aisle and like look to go and cash in. I don't know. That didn't make a lot of sense to me, but otherwise, pretty well as expected. Hey,
yeah, I think they're definitely trying to build as much as possible the emotion between her eventually cashing in and Nia Jax. Like they're definitely trying to switch her to babyface.
But I think they would have delivered that yesterday when it's a heel versus heel matchup.
Yeah, but like. Again,
have both Liv Morgan and Nia Jax beat the hell out of Tiffany Stratton to prevent her from cashing in or anything like that. But none of them really did much. And even after they did, Tiffany walked away and walked back to the ring.
Yeah.
True.
right? It would have been a great moment. There's never been a cash in Saudi Arabia, which again, whether you like the location or not, if they're looking to make history, there's an opportunity to make history.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought that was a bit of a missed opportunity to have her actually cash in there, which can all again be rectified with a great cash in.
Yeah. I mean, everyone was talking smack on Damian Priest, and he finally had like the perfectly timed cash in.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's always the caveat for any of these shows. But currently, I think they missed an opportunity to do it yesterday.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I think by the Royal Rumble latest, Tiffany Stratton's champion. Like, maybe
Tiffany Stratton could walk into WrestleMania as champion.
Yeah.
But I also think they could have done that with I guess we're 3 weeks from a month from Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe execute it in Canada, and there is a story to be said about, well, I won this in Toronto and now I won the championship in Vancouver. Yeah. Canada's hero, Tiffany Stratton.
Survivor Series is Saturday, November 30th, 2024.
I'll be there. I'm excited. Maybe I get to see a cash in. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Canadian hero, Tiffany Stratton. Wonder how that'll go over. Anyways, the other one, obviously, you mentioned it, LA Knight. That triple threat was fantastic.
It was good.
Surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised LA Knight retained at this point, to be honest, even if just for the fact that, and I think even it was you that mentioned this yesterday, Lawrence. Somebody did.
Yeah.
If I'm miscrediting, sorry. But there is going to be that proverbial game 7 with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, right? They're 3-3 in their matches against each other. So that being for the United States Championship would have been a cool little wrinkle. But I ain't ever going to complain about LA Knight. I still love to yell, yeah. I still love to yell Rusev Day, but whatever. I'm here for a good catchphrase.
And like you said, Lawrence, that moonsault to the floor that Andrade busted out, that was something else.
Andrade's wild. It's been, again, I don't mean to make the same comparison because I really, really think, and it was my match of the night, Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed.
Oh, yeah, it was so good.
It's not a similar comparison, but both Andrade and Bronson Reed, when they came back to WWE, it took them a couple of hot minutes to steal a phrase, to sort of heat up and sort of find their footing. But once they hit it, and I think Andrade's right on that precipice, they've hit it hard, right? So I'm excited. I really, really think that this feud with Carmelo's really, really helped out Andrade. I'm sorry for saying 4 times in that sentence. Jesus Christ, Spencer. Sound like a Valley girl here. But I'm excited to see where he goes from here and where he goes after Carmelo Hayes, because whether it's still after the United States Championship or, something bigger and better, whatever that may be, I'm not certain. I'm excited. I'm warming up to Andrade Cien Almas.
You're cautiously optimistic.
I'm cautiously optimistic. Have him wrestle Johnny Gargano again. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll watch that all day long.
Why not? I'm fine with it. I just make it happen. They don't have the tag titles anymore. Just do black and gold NXT. That's all I ask for anymore.
But yeah, you mentioned these Seth Rollins. I think people were disappointed that Bronson Reed didn't win, but also they made Bronson Reed once again look like a monster. He took 3 curb stomps to lose the match, and a top rope curb stomp at that to finally take him out.
If you thought Bronson Reed was upset before Seth Rollins beat him, Seth Rollins, I guarantee, is getting written out of tomorrow's Fatal 4-Way with Bronson Reed just beating the ever-loving shit out of him.
Yeah. But it's also like that. I was looking at the Fatal 4-Way. Everyone's got an outside beef right now that could potentially interfere. I think maybe exception, but even Sheamus is with Pete Dunne. Still has issues. Everyone, it's not there's still potential for outside interference for all those guys there.
I hope they do exactly what they did in Australia and just flew a bunch of guys over to screw people out of a match AJ Styles style. Oh my God, what's What's Finn Balor doing here?
Yeah.
Just here to beat the hell out of Damian Priest.
Yeah.
What's Pete Dunne doing here? Just here to beat the hell out of Sheamus. At least Bronson had a match, but just here to beat the hell out of Seth Rollins. And Dominic stacks them all up, pins the three of them, and then goes on to roll up the World Heavyweights champion Gunther.
Could you imagine if he beats Gunther?
I'll cry. Tears of happiness. But
I think that Goldberg should put Dom over in Goldberg's last match.
I think if all is just in this world, Goldberg's gonna get kicked in the face by Bret Hart and his last match.
Do you think
and we'll call her all square?
Do you think he goes out on his back? There's no
Probably
way,
not. He wants to be a superhero.
Isn't that sad though? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Here's the thing,
a hard
and I'm
left,
sure that
but
they can all come to mind, and I understand, and I like a great moment as much as anybody. Don't get me wrong. Sting, like, I'm about to contradict myself here a million times, because Sting winning his final match was fantastic. Loved it. Big Sting guy. But I think we can all think of all these proverbial old school guys who have not gone out on their back, that talk about this culture and hate video games, and then just go out there and win and don't do right.
You guys should be doing crystal meth in the locker room.
Yeah,
we did.
Like the good old days. I don't have very many like hills to die on in pro wrestling, but I find that mentality very, very silly, to say the least. Anywho,
I got a lot of hills to die on. So many.
Heinz is the only I watch a podcast, and they don't sponsor, so I'm not going to put them over. But they are doing basically like short little interviews, and somebody's hot take was that why would anybody make homemade ketchup? Heinz already does it right. There's no need for homemade ketchup, and that is a hill I will die on.
That makes sense.
Tired of artisan ketchups. Anyways,
I'm the same way about beer. PBR perfected it in the 1800s. I don't know why all the rest of y'all are even doing it.
Hey, Alley Cat.
Non-sponsored shout out.
There we go. Oh,
Brainbuster Brew, however, is a delicious drop of ale, as David Brent would say.
It is. David Brent, good shout. For Raw, at least as far as I've seen so far, at least as far as I have seen so far, they've only announced the number one contenders match. Does anybody have a reason that Dominic Mysterio shouldn't win this?
No.
Genuinely.
And again, as somebody who only follows the product kind of on social media, no.
Lawrence, give me just to challenge your debate skills.
Yeah.
Any reason that Dominic Mysterio shouldn't win this match?
I legitimately
not.
Yeah, like I would. There's no reason, because everyone else has already had like multiple title shots in there, and he hasn't. Like it's just
championship opportunities, pal.
Yeah. Wow. At the belt. And told me, God, I have giant belt loops on my pants, despite the person who makes that reference specifically. So I only hold my pants up with title.
Hey, it's a cummerbund, if anything.
I use actual championships to hold up my pants, just comically sized belt loops. But yes, like everyone else has had he's the most interesting thing, because he hasn't had a heavyweight title shot yet, and him stylistically and on the mic matching up with Gunther, even though it is heel versus heel, like
this is how they're going to turn him babyface. Like
yeah.
I think this is actually how they're going to turn Dominic Mysterio babyface.
Like Gunther being like the most like puritanical of like you've got to be a mat technician and respect the mat, and you've got Dirty Dom Mysterio showing up with all his hijinks. Like it would just annoy the hell. Like he would not be able to take him seriously.
It's like a master chess player playing a rookie, but getting beaten by the rookie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Mike Tyson fighting an infant.
It's like
on pay-per-view
on Netflix right after Jake Paul's fight.
Oh,
oh God. I really do think, and whether or not it's like a literal 2-minute match or some sort of filler little spot between, obviously the War Games match is going to kick in. I'm certain they're going to have an equally big women's match. I don't know if there's like a feud on the women's side that like would justify a War Games match. Maybe they'll try and manufacture one here in the next few weeks, but they'll have a big match for the women on the card. They'll have the War Games match, obviously, between, I think, the Bloodlines. But some spots, you do need your 3 to 5 minutes, so to speak. Yeah. And this could be it. Yeah. Dominic Mysterio could beat Gunther in 3 to 5 minutes.
Do you think there will ever come a time in WWE where they will mix and match and the men will wrestle the women?
I think that they're going to do it with Rhea and Dom. I think there's going to be. I think they're going to. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. It's the weird little delay here on the internet.
Because like with the War Games, there's like men and women involved in angles together that you could mix and match and put that in the War Games and have the men wrestle the women. But I just don't know if a big cable company's ready to do that yet.
No, and they've done like anytime it's been mixed match or anything like that, anytime that like when a guy tags out to a woman, both women have to enter.
Yeah.
But other than that, they haven't really done anything other than like, was it Asuka and James Ellsworth? And like, I think they will do Rhea and Dominic Mysterio, but it's not ever going to be, I don't think, anything that is presented with like a competitive nature, which like, my thoughts on intergender wrestling. Like I am firmly for it. It is 2 equal competitors.
It's just so commonplace on the indies now that I see it all the time and I don't even think about it. Like it's just a thing that happens.
I think is the biggest thing. It really, really is. I'll tell you a story when we're off air, actually. But I'm firmly for it. It is 2 or 4, or however many individuals involved in a match, no matter how they may identify, regardless of their gender. In my opinion, 2 competitors, 4 competitors, 16 competitors. I just think intergender wrestling it's a nothing burger for me. It just should be what it is. Fortunately, not everyone thinks like that. However, Rhea versus Dom in a situation where it's like somewhat of a not a joke. That doesn't feel like the right way to put it, but like very clearly the advantage is in the woman's favor. That's when they've done it. But say la vie. I don't think we'll ever get that because for me, Rhea Ripley could be an intercontinental champion if we want to just like sort of take.
That's fair.
She certainly could be. Beth Phoenix, people like that, I obviously think could be anytime. But that's all they've announced for Raw. To get back to that so far, do you guys want to talk Goldberg?
I mean, I've been very outspoken on my dislike for Goldberg, but nobody cares about my opinion, so that's fine.
He has announced his retirement. His last match has been approved. I like how he went out of his way to name check all of the executives in WWE. I thought that was a very funny little, because he was on like a College Game Day or something like that, and he said according to Paul Levesque and Nick Khan and what's their director of talent relations now? I completely forget. I apologize. But he said, according to these 3, Goldberg will be having his retirement match in 2025. And okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fine by me. I think he'll wrestle Gunther. I hope he loses in 3 minutes. We don't need a 15-minute match. We don't want a 15-minute match.
I don't think he could do a 15-minute match. That's like compelling and watchable.
No, good on him. I mean, that is what it is. He's earned the right to have a retirement match. I think anybody who's been involved in the industry that long and wants to go out in their own way, they've earned that right in some way, shape, or form.
That's actually really well said. You know what? That's really well said. That's like a modicum of respect for the guy because he's a competitor. That's fair.
That's exactly it. But other than that, certainly not my personal favorite either. I think it's going to be Goldberg versus Gunther. I hope Bret Hart comes in, puts a sharpshooter on, and there you go.
Do you think if they offered both of those guys that? Do you think if Paul Levesque went to both of these guys and said, this is what we want to do. We want Bret, you to run in and hit the sharpshooter. Would either one of them say yes to it?
I think
Goldberg
would.
I think the answer for me, Boris, if the money's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brett would do it. And I don't know if Goldberg would do it because they're both very staunch in their ways and their opinions. And
yeah, they don't seem to like each other very much.
Yeah,
I think Bret Hart hates Goldberg more than Goldberg cares about Bret Hart.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, like Goldberg very much wants to get like past them, and Bret Hart is 100% entitled to be like, "Fuck you, you did my career."
I hope they're just working us for the last like 25 years. I hope they're like sneaking out to random pubs every so often, just like got them.
Can you say this and then I'll say this?
That's exactly. That's all I hope. I hope one day they're just like, I don't know. I hope
how you book LPW. You say this and then I'll say this.
That's exactly. I hope they're just working everybody. I'd love it. Let's chat about it a little bit here as well too before we close out the show. I am actually going to pick a match here because I do think we've got some time for a watch along. Because admittedly, guys, I did not watch a ton of Collision this week, and I was driving home to make it back to watch the watch along with ye old Big Bad Boris here on Wednesday night. But I do want to pick you guys' brains about Bobby Lashley in All Elite Wrestling. Downloading. Watch Scramble from last month. Thoughts? I'm real excited. I'm excited for the Hurt Business, and I think it was even Sean who tweeted
Syndicate.
it out. Yes, but this is the first time. That was the first time those three have been in front of a crowd together.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, obviously, they had, what was it? The Beatdown Crew or something like that?
Because they're
Lashley and
Down
pandemic
Clan or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So MVP and Lashley obviously is a different story, but yeah, as like the Hurt Syndicate or business or organization, or I don't know, private ownership, proprietorship, the Hurt proprietorship. That was the first time they'd been in front of a crowd. I'm very excited. I'm excited to see where it goes with Shelton Benjamin. I always like the story of person with, I don't mean this to sound as rude as it will, but person with no friends has to find friends. Like, who does Swerve have by his side right now? The Gates of Agony isn't there anymore. It's really Prince Nana. And I know Nana was a respected wrestler. It's been a while. Has he ever officially had a match in All Elite?
No, I don't think so. He was just
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
And obviously, neither is MVP, but there is a big difference between Prince Nana, who has been traditionally seen as like a manager with Swerve, versus MVP, who is wrestling Josh Barnett at Bloodsport in a couple of days. There's a difference in perception there. And Lashley and Swerve obviously are on their own levels as far as their own respective stuff goes. Who's Swerve going to align with? To sort of counteract Shelton Benjamin, I suppose, right? You got to assume it's going to be Lashley and Swerve at Full Gear.
Hangman Page.
Keith Lee is an interesting ass pick, JPJ.
Yeah.
That's a really excellent pick. I don't know how close he is to returning. Obviously, if he is anywhere near ready, hell yeah, I got a lot of love for Keith Lee.
I do too. And every time I watch him wrestle, I feel like that he's not well. And I'm not making a mockery or being flippant, but the last few times I've seen him wrestle, I look at his face and I'm just like, he's not okay. And I worry about him physically because he's a super talented guy. But if he's been on TV for the last little bit.
That's why he's been and I can't speculate. I don't know what he's currently undergoing. I know Fightful's put out a pretty good number of reports and a pretty respectful, I guess, number of reports is the best way to put it.
Who would be good
on what's
for
going on with his health, but he by his own admission has not been 100% anytime he's been on TV the last little bit.
What about a Shane Taylor? I've been a big Shane Taylor fan for a long time. I think he's still on the ROH roster. I know there's no
they're actually doing
line in there, but like,
is it Top Flight or no? It was the Infantry that just aligned with Shane Taylor Promotions.
That's right. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So I don't disagree, but I think they're going in two different directions and great directions. I interviewed Shane Taylor. This would have been fairly close to the closure of Ring of Honor. And he is a great dude. He seems like a really motivated dude. Yeah. It's great to finally see, again, we talk about, and I think that the ROH discussion is a whole other discussion in and of itself.
I think
But,
Powerhouse Hobbs is a good pick as well, JPJ. I agree with that.
I'd love him in the Hurt Syndicate. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. So like I'm personally very excited for the Hurt Syndicate in AEW because like this is the first time where they really get to show what this could have been in WWE with like without all the strings and with people actually understanding it. Or like
I hope so. I will
like
say
Vince McMahon never got hit like that act and like never fully grasped it. And
yeah, but I will say too, if anybody's seen any of the like, and I say this with full respect, I love me some Bobby Lashley, but like Bobby Lashley was talking about shoot fighting Karrion Kross.
Oh yeah, he has some bad ideas. I trust MVP
you know
more
let's
than
let's maybe make sure also that like let's make sure that that's a little reined in.
Yeah.
Last thing we need is more shoot fighting.
You also had like another terrible idea.
Yeah, that's not our place to speak on that one. Yeah. That is out of our wheelhouse. That is not.
What if they have a brawl for all?
You know, Boris, I think you've just come across $1 million idea.
No, just awful.
Hello,
awful,
rich
awful.
people.
Yeah.
Troy's joining you.
I need a guy who won the lottery to fund my new promotion.
Well, that can't be me, apparently.
No.
Yeah, JPJ, I hear what you're saying. I think he'd be a great guy to do it. I haven't watched enough Ring of Honor. I really haven't. Now, if it becomes a televised product again, I will
give it another shot.
If it becomes more easily accessible, absolutely. That's always been the toughest part is, you know, I've got limited streams that I have the ability to watch in a week, and Ring of Honor, unfortunately, has not filled that all that often. Love them. Lots of talented people there. Not the most kindly treated brand, I think.
And just like the legacy, I can't turn my back on it because I have so much goodwill in my brain invested into that company because I just love it so much that I took it out of my weekly viewing as well, but I keep tabs on it and I hope they get a TV deal just because in my heart there's equity for that company.
More wrestling on TV, objectively good thing. I think is the best way that I can put it. Anything else that anybody wants to chat on from the old weekend wrestling and the upcoming weekend wrestling? Sorry, what I'm basically asking here, guys, is vamp because I forgot to add what we've got coming up for matches here.
I'm excited about Wednesday night because I'm literally gonna split screen and stream the NXT/AEW night, and it's gonna feel like the old Raw Nitro days before you guys were born.
Hey, I was technically born.
I was born.
I was alive. I was there.
And yeah, my Lost Media thing, like the WWE ECW brand did a show at the ECW Arena that has never been released. And that's like one of my lost, like I'm a digital wrestling horror, as you obviously know. I've got hard drives full of stuff. And that's like a Lost Media thing that I would love for someone to find and release because I would love to see what that ECW show in the arena looked like.
Fair enough. Well, if you want to check out some excellent professional wrestling, thanks, Boris, for giving me a great transition on that end of things. Make sure you're in Edmonton, Alberta's South Common Rec Room on Friday, November 22nd. We won't just be there, Boris. Kushida will be there challenging for the Love Pro Wrestling Grand Championship against Mars the Specialist. A couple of days ago, we put out Mars's match against Blake Christian, his third championship, fourth championship defense of his title reign. He's got his biggest challenge yet coming up to close out the year in Love Pro Wrestling. Not only that, though, Reed Matthews returns from injury for the first time in a couple of months. He's taking on Michael Richard Blaze for the Love Pro Wrestling Challenge Championship at Love Pro Wrestling 32. Anyways, here's Wonderwall. Very excited for this one. You guys, we're closing out the year in style. This is going to be one hell of an event. Don't miss out. Tickets are available at tixr.com/love wrestling, and they're already getting limited. You don't want to miss this one. It is going to be, and you know, Boris, I don't say it often, and I don't hyperbolize when I do. This is going to be one of the biggest events in Love Pro history. I am absolutely hyped for it.
Like, and again, this is going to sound like I'm being disingenuous or being a BSer or being a company man, but I'm honestly not. If those were, and they're not, but if those were the only two matches we did on that show would be fire and worth the money.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like I'm being a suck-up kiss ass, but like those two matches are going to be fantastic, and there's so much other stuff to come. I don't know what it is because I find out the same time you guys do, but I'm excited to see what else you've got up your sleeve there, boss.
Well, I appreciate it, my friend. And not only will you get to see what we've got coming up in the next little bit, but right now we are going to tune in. This match is debuting on the Tube of You. Will be coming out officially in a few days. I was dressed as the Sandman. I forgot to eliminate some of the stuff that I'm going to have to re-upload this.
That shirt is a little sizable on you. Where'd you get that from?
Got it from you, Boris. Got it from you.
Have you been following on the social media? There's been a budding friendship between Stephen Crow and Alley Catch and some fun dance videos on social media. I don't know if you've seen those, but I don't understand.
Yes, I have.
But it's fun.
Stephen Crow is one of the only people I follow on TikTok because I don't really know how to use TikTok. I'm old. I'm old when it comes to that. But I quite enjoy it. Stephen's a good talker. Is that what you would call him?
Especially considering
just good on social media.
Effie has put over Stephen Crow on his podcast as a excellent kisser.
That makes sense too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. That'll maybe be what we watch next week is Bussy versus Ride or Die. We've done that one in a hot minute.
Listen to those chocolatey tones.
The dulcet tones of Big Bad Boris.
I went to Tinkle and I stuffed some food in my mouth and I was re-energized for the second half of the show.
Huge shout out as well too, because like sometimes, and you know how much I have issues editing audio and that sort of stuff. Huge shout out to Mike and Ken and Dustin and obviously yourself, because like this was probably the cleanest or some of the cleanest audio we've had on the commentary end. It sounded
those guys are great. That moving hard cam, dude, I'm telling you, I don't know why I'm such a mark for that moving hard cam, but it just makes it that much better.
The extra level of professionalism.
Yeah. I'm a Dean Richter guy. I like Dean Richter a lot.
I do too, man.
Like
I'm very, very happy
throwback,
he's made a bit of a home here. Dean's a killer. Blocking out the haters. Just blocking those haters out. Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Dean Richter. He's been a great addition to Love Pro over the last year. I think his first match was actually even last November for us.
You might be right.
I'm going to actually fact check on that one. Here's a fun fact for you. I'm the one who submits all of our results to Cage Match. So when you look up Love Pro on a Cage Match, you know that the results are they're right.
Do you know on Cage Match there's a spot to say who commentated the show?
Is there? Well, shit.
I like the look on Thaddeus. That was solid with the devil horns and stuff. That was cool.
Man, Pride looked good too. Pride always does
sure.
excellently on Halloween. At 2023. Oh, I was wrong. It was October.
Oh, okay.
Dean Richter was part of the scramble that we had at Speedball Strikes First.
Oh, okay.
No, that was September. Because then it was Reed Matthews and Dean Richter in October, and then he was in a tag match with Riley Cruz in November.
There you go.
I mean, I throw around the term unhinged pretty liberally, but I think even more unhinged than ever before, if that's possible.
Always great to have Alley Catch here.
Yeah, I spoke to her. I'd like to pull the curtain back a little bit. I spoke to her because she's just recently turned heel in GCW, and I spoke to her and I'm like, are we healing it up, or how do you want me to kind of approach this? And she was like, I'm not really sure. We had the same conversation the night before in Winnipeg, and I was just like, I'll follow your lead. And it was just baby facey normal, and so we just went that way. But I just thought I would see how protective she is of the character and how she wanted to go with it.
Allie's killer.
She's super cool, super approachable, super fun. Yeah. She was excited to head to Hawaii for last night's GCW show.
Yeah,
it was a
haven't
fun
watched
show.
yet.
I watched like right before this. It was a fun show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still working
Haven't
on
had a
the. I'm still working on the Halloween show.
Yeah. That's Speedball and FE come full on make out while Veda does commentary to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
What a
Yeah.
sport we work in.
Yeah.
I had to do the math. Okay, there's 5 people. That means 20% chance. I did it in my head before I said it because I didn't want to get facts checked.
That's okay. I was actually caught off by how loud like the kids were with the birds aren't real. So when I introduced Eli, like I actually paused for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not threw off. It's just like I should have let it breathe a little longer, and I caught myself through it halfway through. Right?
Mm-hmm.
See? I love the birds aren't real.
He had a weird brand name of aluminum foil. I noticed in the locker room. I thought like I wasn't sure what like he needs an endorsement. I thought it might be Reynolds or something, but he had some weird brown package. And again, I don't know if I'm pulling the curtain back too far, but
Is Alcan not all over Canada?
Yeah, I thought that was the
Or maybe-
only tinfoil brand.
Yeah.
what did I say? Reynolds? No,
Well, no,
maybe I think,
Reynolds.
yeah,
Reynolds is
Alcan's
another big
like-
one too.
Okay.
Some of the extra humanity in the ring. And it appears for the time being, Richter and Pride combine their efforts.
I was backstage at one of the independent shows in Toronto, and Ali Catch was just getting there and like immediately started doing a Stone Cold impression for some reason, and we just like Barry, like, are we moving these bags? What? Out of nowhere, just for the entire time.
Tonight, big slam.
Delightful person, Ali Catch.
Basement dropkick from Pride.
Dean Richter has no patience for fun.
No. No.
Again, combining their efforts in the corner on Richter. Pride
What's the
direct
difference between Dean Richter and a mushroom? Only one's a fun guy.
the champ.
Uh,
Like I said, it's not a bad game plan, but it's at some point those two will have to turn on one another. But I'm sure
You can take that one for free, Boris.
doing so.
You can take that one for free.
Thanks, brother.
Bye, Lawrence. We miss you.
Yeah.
And now they don't have to worry about their thoughts being read.
He's left the chair.
Yeah, this is a fun little piece of business here too.
Well, I think they both look interesting nonetheless. The other two competitors back inside the ring, and now.
Skadoosh.
Yeah, see, I like the scramble. Everything made sense.
And now
I always love the scramble matches.
And scrambles, you know, you can do things in a different way. It doesn't always have to be 48 flips. You can tell stories and have fun and all that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on 48 flips because I like a 48 flip scramble match as much as the next guy, but there's all different ways you can kind of go about it.
in this scramble match,
I
every
agree.
person for themselves.
They're some of my favorites. I just love, and Car Crash Theater is the phrase I always come back to, but like I just love the chaos of it.
An alliance is a good thing.
Because again, I'm not necessarily like a 48 flip sort of guy every match, but I like chaos, and those are two different things.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
You know,
Back in the ring through the legs.
I like
Like
the
Orton
chaos.
and like Orton and KO.
Scorpion
There's some
yeah,
fun chaos
between
yesterday.
the eyes.
yeah.
that STO is always sick.
Zoe
I was just gonna say I love a good STO.
Grand champion, former challenge
The
champion,
STO?
and recipient currently of forearms.
What's that?
I said the STZO. That works.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Charging the rope, big clothesline. Oh man, kick
Oof.
to the face. Sager
God
crumbles
damn
in
it,
the
pal.
corner.
Oof.
Another kick from Richter. Ali Catch back inside the ring.
More like Dean
Richter
kicked her.
charges in. Ali
I was
up and
just
over.
thinking that. Get out of my brain.
Tucking the clothesline.
We've spent way too much time together lately, and it's starting to show.
Yeah, we got to cut off. I can't be on the
Yeah.
Dynamite sidecast this week.
Ali Catch with the DDT.
Well, provided that the entire world does not explode on Tuesday, I will be there on Wednesday night for.
Oldest trick in
Oh,
the
God.
book.
We're done.
Half of the time, it works every time.
Half of the time, it works every time. Good line, Boris. You might not be terrible at this after all.
Sidestep. Catch puts the brakes on. Using.
I never know how to call this because I don't want to oversell it, but I don't want to undersell it either. Do you know what I mean?
Alien
Yep.
Wiles. But to no avail. Drop kick sends Catch into the
Good-oosh.
buckle. Up and over goes the champ. Big spear onto Sager.
That looked good.
Eli Surge is
Hook
so
in the
good.
leg. Again, first pinfall. Walks out with the gold. Sager sidesteps.
Boom.
Yeah, no complaints, man.
None. I quite like this match. I really enjoyed this show.
And I don't go back and watch too much because I get overly critical of myself. But it is nice to kind of go back and watch and enjoy and just be like, yeah, it's a good product, man.
I watch back everything like multiple times. Obviously, like editing it is
Yeah.
you sort of have to, but I really enjoy them because again, like I really enjoyed doing the stream there the other night.
Yeah, that was a good time.
There are so many matches that like just underrated bangers. Like again, I keep going back T.Y. Jackson and Travis Williams from 21 last year. Like that was unreal, absolute blast.
And it's fun,
Right.
like as the time marches on, the catalog just gets a little deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yep.
You know, to the point now where we're starting to forget about some of those underrated matches.
Yep. Well, I want to start to do like some older Love Pro.
Breaks that pinning attempt up. Big forearm. Irish whip. Ducking that clothesline. Both competitors had the same idea. Opposite sides of the ring.
Nice edit. Solid edit there, Spencer. Good job.
Thank you. Honestly, though, the mobile cam makes it that much easier.
Yeah.
Scramble title is all about. Double boots. Make it two.
The biggest time you'll notice is like when people are fighting in the crowd. Sometimes, again, rightfully so. Nick does so much when he's running around in the trench there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just miss stuff while people are running through.
Meal ticket. The only man he's got left. Pride. Eli Surge trying to get up to his feet, as is Steve Richter. Firing in
And for a good long WALK before this, so I hope he's sleeping and not eating our couch.
That's quote of the day. Stop eating the couch.
Oh man, I'll send you a photo. But a couple of months ago. Here's actually the bad. Do you know how hard it is to find foam? Like just foam for couches?
I've never had that problem, so no, I don't.
He tore apart one of the couch cushions, and so I got like the actual cover for it repaired. But I'm looking for like some 4-inch foam because I've got like a big comfy couch.
Face full of turnbuckle.
As Lunette and Molly would say. That's one for you 90s kids.
Big kick from the champ.
I'm out on that one. Sorry.
You haven't seen the big comfy couch?
I know of it, but I didn't like. I'm too old. I think. Like,
Yeah, okay.
And I didn't have kids that watched it either, so I love that stuff. Pile driver always looks so good.
Yeah.
Driving pile.
Pride again breaks up the pinning attempt. Kick into the midsection from Sager.
Zoe popped in last night. She looked tired as hell, but she popped in for a couple of minutes. And she was like, "What the hell are you guys watching?"
Restalicious?
Yep.
Restalicious.
She was in her the hotel in Montreal doing the business over there. Good for her.
Oh yeah.
Oh, damn it. I wish I could support that promotion.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We'll
But I don't
leave
like-
it at that.
Yeah.
Is there a story I don't know?
I'll talk off air.
Yeah.
Okay. God damn it.
Society appearing from behind the curtain. Sager
Oh.
leaping off the top, taking them all out.
Hey, you.
Numbers game just too much. Just tried to fight all three of them. They're gonna just drag Zoe to hell.
Drag Zoe to hell. Oh, boy.
Eliminated from this matchup by the Clandestine Society. Nothing referee can do, unfortunately. Dean Richter powering down. Alley catch.
Big strong boy, Dean Richter.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's probably like one of those dudes that doesn't know how strong he really is.
Stomp from
Maybe he
Pride.
does, I don't know. I think Rich King's like that too. Like Rich King, I bet could lift a Volkswagen if he had to.
And like the bus, not like a Beetle.
Yeah.
Tried to get one on the champ. Unsuccessful. Planted in the center by Eli Surge. Going for the cover. And Eli Surge going to retain.
And there's 3.
See, that was a fun scramble match. And I think that there was like 0 dives. But everything made sense. There was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I got no notes.
Actually, 0 dives, which was neat. Which again isn't a bad thing. It's not.
Yeah, I'm not crapping on dives. I love a good dive. Don't get me wrong, but
dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Guys, this was fun. Thank you for joining us, JPJ. Everybody, thank you for joining us in the chat. I believe our next stream, speaking of JPJ, is coming up on Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Our next stream is coming up on Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Mountain Time at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. They're going to be hosting Firmly WWE with Drew Nicholas. It is always a good watch. It is always a good listen. I usually listen to her on my drive time commute. So make sure you do so. If you want to make sure you get a reminder for it, hit the bell on this here channel after you subscribed and liked this video. And last but not least, make sure you pick up your tickets for Love Pro Wrestling 32. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. That'll be taking place on Thursday and Friday, November 21st and 22nd. If you want to hit up a double dose, an amuse-bouche of professional wrestling. Thank you. I get distracted by that graphic. It looks so damn
I'm just
good.
trying to be a bro.
You did a good job. Hi, Sandy. It is good to see you, my friend. We are signing out as of right now, but stay up to date with the latest and greatest from Lawrence and Boris. And Lawrence, I'll let you tell Sandy first how they can do so.
Yeah, they can follow me at Kurt Sandy G on all the socials, Blue Sky, Twitter, Threads, and you can see me back here next Sunday on the Brunch Gimmick.
Big Bad Boris, where can the people find you?
You can follow me at BB Boris on the Twitter or at BB Boris1 on the Instagram. I'm on the Blue Sky thing too. I don't know how any of that works, but I'm on it just in case the whole world falls apart. You can find me next on Wednesday night. I will be doing the Dynamite watch along, but it's going to be a Dynamite NXT watch along. I'm literally going to split screen them here and have them going at the same time. That should be a lot of fun. And for my American friends, get out there and vote.
Yep.
100%. You can find me at Spenny
Oh,
Love.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
No,
One more thing. Also, out of respect for the Vince Austin tribute show next Saturday, there will not be a Saturday Night Love, so everybody can go. I don't want to harass people to appear on that day, so everybody go support that show. And yeah, sorry.
Absolutely,
now you may
friend.
continue.
No worries, my dude. You can follow me at Spenny Love. It's very rare that I'll ask you to follow me specifically, but over this month, I am going to be taking part along with the Sherwood Park Crusaders, my real job. I'm going to be taking part in Movember, raising some funds for men's cancers and men's mental health. So this is only going to get worse. It already is bad, but it's going to get worse. But it's all in the name of a good cause. So I'll be sending that link out. I'll probably be selfishly sending that out through the Love Wrestling account as well too. So follow me if you want to donate to me directly, but follow us wherever podcasts are played, videos reviewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people at Love Wrestling CA. Thank you guys once again for the support. Like I said, next live stream is going to be on Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Eastern. But stay up to date with the latest and greatest on Love Wrestling. Give us a like, a share, a follow, and stay tuned for some more videos. Tomorrow morning, it won't be live, but Matt Viviani versus T.Y. Jackson debuts here on this very YouTube channel. We will see you next week on the Brunch Gimmick. Same bat time, same bat channel. For Lawrence, for Boris, I have been and will continue to be Spencer Love. We'll see you on the next one, friends. Take care.